Well, sunshine, we're gonna do a little bit of sawing on this log today. We've let it set outside long enough, all the whitewood's rotted plumb off of it, so it ought to be about hard enough to saw hard. Got ready to run my saw head forward, and I thought it was doing it on the last log, but I wasn't sure, and it got to running rough. I had to turn my feed way up to pull that head down through that log, even just running. And I want to show you what the problem is and what to do about it. Now these saw heads run on two round rails, one on top, one on the bottom. If you got one of these and you're watching it, you probably know. If you don't, I appreciate you being here and just hanging out with me. And basically it's hung on these round bars by 4 bearings, 2 on top and 2 on the bottom. And of course this head is hanging out over my head right here, so it's actually pulling, the weight of this head's actually pulling this in this way. So there's a bearing, this vertical right here, that rubs on this backside, and that's what keeps that head from running on down farther. That's one adjustment. The second bearing is the vertical, so it's got a load on this one all the time, and you can't turn either one of these right now because this whole saw head's running down on it. Now there's 2 other bearings on the bottom. One of them's loaded, on the bottom it's just the opposite. If we was looking at it straight down, that one bearing would be running against this side of the rail. See, that's keeping that from cantilevering out. So that bearing has pressure on it right now. And then the bottom bearing, opposite of this, won't have any pressure. It's usually hanging on like 3 bearings at one time. The top one, the back one here, and the inside one here. The bottom bearing isn't loaded right now. Now, if I was to take pressure off this, it'll load that bottom bearing. I can take pressure off of it, and I want to show you how to do that. But anyhow, I reach under here, and what I'm feeling is this bearing right here on the bottom, and I can turn that, and it don't feel bad. Feels a little dry, but it's smooth, no problem. And then the bearing that's under this back side, you can't see it. You just have to trust me. It's running. The bearing's running round ways against this side. I can reach under there. I can feel it. Well, I think I can. Suffice it to say, I was under my back a minute ago. Oh, there it is. And I can't turn it. It's got pressure on it. So I haven't found a bad bearing yet, but I'm sure I got one. Here's my quick, fast, in a hurry, and cheap way of finding me a bad bearing. First thing I do is get my head just about the right height, and I'll shove my daggum cant hook or anything else right under this base, and it's a little bit high, it won't hold it up. So I'll lower that head down just till it'll hold this cant hook for me. And you got a little bit of play here, and I'll set that on that cant hook or anything else for that matter, and then I'll let it down just a little bit more. Now what we accomplished by putting this cant hook in here is now I can turn this bearing back here. Well, put it this way. I can turn this bearing, which is identical to this one here, and I can turn this one just ever so little bit, but she's seized up. That's my problem. I can turn it, I can feel it just rougher than a cob. That bearing right there is my problem. So I can loosen this. This here is actually a very easy one to, easy for me to say. This is an easy one to change. No, this here's an easy one to change because all I have to do is take this nut out, and it's got clearance to knock right out. So let's see what we can do. There we go, easy peasy, lemon squeak. Well, if I can get it out of there, if I can get my meat hooks in there, get her fished out of there. There's the bearing. It's drier than a popcorn fart, and they've got a hex in the bottom where you can back that up. I was just hitting it with the end pipe, trying to stop it with my finger, and we got her off her. But anyhow, you can hear it, it still turns, but it was rough. Let's see if I got another one of them. If I don't, I've got 2 options. There's one bearing down there that hardly ever has tension on it. I could swap them around if I need to get through the day, but I think I got another one. I'll be back. And lo and behold, you never know what you'll find in my bag of tricks. Basically, there's a log turner. I'll tell you that story some other time. I think we are in the business. Right there we go. She's been in there a while, ain't it? But it never hurts to have stuff like that. She's smooth as buttermilk. Torrington, that's a Torrington 10 millimeter CRS 24. CRS, I got that. I just can't remember something. 24. That's about, yeah, I can remember that. Can't remember stuff 24 hours a day. And it's got a hex in the top and the bottom. Both, this newer one does. We'll give her hell easy with the Impactimus wrench. And make sure, boy, it ain't, this near scarred up, so when you turn it, you can see the rust paint. This near I couldn't hardly tell. I wasn't sure if my finger was slipping or if it's turning. It's turning that easy, it's turning. So I think we're good. Now, if you'll pay attention to your WOOD-MIZER book, we'll lift this up and get that out of my way. If you'll pay attention to your WOOD-MIZER book, I'm sure at this point it will tell you to basically get out all your tools, get out the book. See, that's where I'm in good shape, is I didn't look at the book first, so I don't know what all I got to do. Had I looked at the book again, I'm sure it would tell me that I need to recalibrate this head. I need to reset it. I'm just sawing rough cut lumber from a sawmill right now, so I'm not going to spend the time resetting it right now. Should I? Absolutely, because the book says I should. Do I follow directions that well? Well, sometimes if I think they're important, and then sometimes I just think, well, that one's optional. That's kind of like them stop signs you see out in the country. Some of them's got a white stripe around them. Well, if they got a white stripe, they're optional. Now, don't try to convince the local state's attorney or the judge of that, because they don't know that information yet. Oh, yeah, but them's optional, see? And, you know, that kind of goes along with the deal. Well, hey, you didn't stop at that stop sign. Now, that's all right. I'll catch the next one twice. But anyhow, it ain't right, but sometimes I find some of the rules optional. I probably won't reset this head. I know I won't reset it right away. We'll saw a little bit, make sure she comes out even to the bed after a while. And it's hard to set with a log on there. I'm not taking the log back off. Excuse after excuse after excuse. But let's see if she moves a little better now. A while ago, I had to basically push it. Now, I don't want to run over my, I don't want to run over my cables. When I'm running this on my own, or just back and forth, a lot of times I hook battery charger up because I can run the battery. I can take a lot of the battery out just running the electronics on it. So let me get her all zipped back up. Yeah, let's just call this a video. It'll be a nice short one. No sense in clogging it up with everything else sawing. We'll make that into another video or something. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you.